Hey, Wanderers, coming to you from Las Vegas on the south end of the strip. And as you see over our shoulder there is the new A's ballpark going up in downtown Las Vegas. Going to bring more sports down on this end. They're going to have more people, more sports. They're going to have WNBA, which they have now, NFL, and now baseball. So it's going to get very busy on the south end. We have been reviewing MGM properties, and this is our fourth stay. We are at Mandalay Bay for 4 nights. And before that, we were at Park MGM, and then we have done MGM Grand and the Signature, which is a non-casino hotel, but is attached to MGM Grand. We're going to be reviewing all those, but let's talk about Mandalay Bay. Located on the south end of the strip, it's kind of a resorts type of hotel, a little bit like MGM Grand with the number of things that are to do.
It's more family friendly.
Very friendly. It is direct access to the arena where the WNBA plays and also where the Raiders play. And of course, it's going to be right across the street from the A's ballpark. So it's going to be a prime position if you're a sports fan. But let's talk about the various things that we look at when we're looking at a properties. Upon check-in, this particular trip, we had a flight delay. We didn't get in till a little bit after midnight by the time we arrived at the hotel. The south end sits just around the corner from the airport, so it's a short drive. I tell most people in Vegas, you can, if you're a big Uber fan, you can do Uber, but there's you have to wait for them to show up wherever you're at because they're not always out in front. The taxis here in Las Vegas are regulated and they only charge by zone. You know what the cost is going to be up front. They are plentifully available. They sit outside of the airport, most hotels, ready for travelers to go wherever you want to go, and very often are less expensive. Or even if they are...
And you don't need cash anymore.
They all here use an app called Curb, which we've used in New York as well. And it works very well. You sync it with your phone with the number that's on the back of the screen when you arrive into the cab, and it starts off, and then it does the electronic payment and handles all that information. So that's great. But cabs are really just quicker, I think. I don't find that they're necessarily more expensive or always cheaper, sometimes, but not always. Then there is the free robot taxi called Zook, which we have yet to get. It doesn't go to the airport, and it only has reach to certain hotels on the strip. For instance, we were at MGM Grand. It did not go to the Grand, but it did come here to Mandalay Bay. 90% of the time we've tried to use it, the app has said it was too busy and wouldn't even talk about it. This time it said it was available, but it was going to be a 45-minute wait. We decided instead of going to the desk, which I always recommend going to the desk because you get to talk to a real person, you can check for an upgrade. Often they'll give them to you. People will still talk about slipping cash to the clerk. They're allowed to take it now. You don't have to be so secretive about it. I'm not going to tell you I think it always works. I think they're always appreciative. Don't get me wrong. And if you feel like they've gone...
Anytime someone gives me money.
Right. It's up to you whether you decide to. You don't have to. But when you use the digital app on your phone, or you use the kiosk when you come in to check in, or there's no opportunity for that because that's not a real person. We decided to use the kiosk just because there was a line. We typically try to come to our room and then do a quick session on the floor before going to bed that night. That means we just get the standard room that we were given. The nice thing is that the room here at Mandalay Bay is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Reminds me of a big bathroom. It has a separate restroom from the shower area, a shower and a tub, a double sink, which I think is always an advantage. We're usually not trying to vie for the bathroom at the same time, but when you travel and you're both trying to get out the door for breakfast or dinner or whatever at the same time, this room also has 2 very large closets. Not only does Mandalay Bay, a standard king room, have a dresser area, but there's a drawer in each nightstand and 2 very large closets which held all of our stuff and this is rare, a good amount of hangers. This reminded me a lot of the Signature, which is a condo suites only kind of building, has the louvered doors. I give the room probably a 5.
Yeah.
If this is their standard room and you were able to get a comp higher, that would only be better. Now, let's talk about the casino floor. We've seen different kinds of casino floors. We kind of look for a casino floor that not only has the games that we play, which is jacks or better, not only at the bar, which we generally like to, but maybe some on the floor, just in case the bar is full, you want to have a place to go. But also we like things around the casino area, other bars you can go to. We go back, I think,
actual casino, the middle of the casino floor, we don't really spend a lot of time.
Not often. It's where the more traditional slot
Slots.
machines are today, which I don't understand. There's no real skill to it. You just press the button until it tells you won. You don't know you won.
Yeah.
And I think our bar at this point, as far as a benchmark, is MGM Grand, which has several little bars around, which made it great for even getting away and not playing the casino, but not being far. We had
Whiskey Down.
Whiskey Down, and then
Lobby
the
bar,
lobby bar.
which is not actually in the lobby.
It's just off to the, you're right.
Yeah.
It's not in the lobby of the hotel. And then there was a small one, the sport book.
Yeah.
And then you had the main hotel bar. And I think they had 2 of them at the Grand. Park had substantially fewer. We talk about that in our review there. Here at Mandalay Bay, it's a little bit in between. Not as many as Grand, but definitely more than Park. They have a main bar that is on the casino floor, which has jacks or better machines. And when I say jacks or better machines, they're all multi-game machines. If you're a Keno person or you're one of these Cleopatra slot, whatever it is, I don't know how it's
We
played.
saw somebody win $300 playing something called Kitty Glitter.
Those are at the bar. We have the long casino bar. Then they have the sport book, which had it there. And then they have a bar called Rhythm and Riff. That's the only bar they have here that had any live music. And the one night that they have live music, which was the first night we came in, it was a DJ, and it was really high bass
I think it's
music.
mostly a DJ.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Where Whiskey, and then there, even at Grand, there was a kind of a country bar right before the casino floor, kind of as you exited the restaurants and then entered the casino. There was that one right on the edge, had live music every night, live singers. Whiskey had live piano or live singers most nights. There was a lot more music there and bars. Here's a little bit better, but still not as many as we've seen. Not as many as we would like. Overall, I would think here at a 1 out of 5, which is what we're going to rate all these things on, I would give the casino here, I'm going to give the casino itself a 3. And there's a caveat coming, but I'll give the casino a 3 because there are plentiful machines that we like to play. I would like to see the bars have a little bit more activity. We play 99% of our time at the sport book. The pools here at Mandalay Bay, they have a wave pool, which I don't know, I haven't seen anybody else have.
No, we didn't get in that.
We did not get in that. They have a lazy river, which
It's not
Grand
very
does
lazy.
as well.
It was not very
It
lazy.
is not very lazy, but that's kind of universal anymore. Folks, for those who need to hear it, the lazy river is not a lap pool.
No.
And it's not a replacement for your speed walking at your local mall. But a lot of people make it that way. They're just in it. They don't have a float. And when you're wearing goggles or a mask, the lazy river is not the place for you.
Yeah, I saw somebody actual snorkel
Yeah.
down the lazy.
It's not what it's about. And then they also have a third pool. It's pretty good size. And that was for everybody. So no adult pools here, which Park had an adult pool, which I thought was very good.
If you're coming as a family,
This is a good destination.
yeah, it's great. It's close to a lot of things. It's close to Excalibur, which has a lot of kids'
We'll get the
activities. The wave pool kids are going to love. But if you're coming as an empty nester,
Yeah.
this might be a little busy for you.
And this is one of the reasons we do this is because we need to find out from you, what is it you're looking for in your stay? Because every hotel is not a perfect fit. And that goes for everything, Vegas or otherwise. All hotels are not created equal. The one thing about the pool that I felt out of it, and it's very resort-like, is that I went down in the morning to reserve a chair because chair reserving, like in all places, is a bit of a sport. It
Yeah.
felt like a Disney rope drop because there was a at least 50-yard line 15 minutes before it opened. And
In 110 degrees,
well,
standing there.
it was not quite 8 o'clock in the morning. It was more like 100 versus 110, but it was something that I haven't experienced in another pool. Very, very little shade here. And I know a lot of people are like, well, Steve, you're at the pool. Why do you want shade? I'm not looking for the sun. I want to relax in the water. I'm avoiding the sun as much as possible. And now we're in July. When we were at Signature, we rented a cabana for $150 a day. The cabanas here started at $450 a day on day 1, went to $350 on day 2. Now, there are 2 other pools here that were not open during our stay. They're only open on weekends currently, which I don't know when or if they open full time. If you're not open full time in July, I don't know when you open. That would be Tailgate, which is a new revived pool that they just created, which is very similar to the sports book type pool that's down on Fremont, where it's up on the roof, giant screens with all the games. I know you love that part of it. And then it's just an adult only pool. Tailgate, that they just
Also,
remodeled. No, there's no shade on either of those pools.
No.
But yeah, they just remodeled it from an older pool into this sports type pool with the giant screens. Didn't open until Thursday. I will say Tailgate has a unique thing that I have not seen before, and that is an all-you-can-drink package. It was $75 for female, $100 for male. You can tell what they're trying to pack into that pool, but that was all you
They
could
know men
drink.
drink more.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. All you could drink from open to close. Now they open at 11 o'clock, and I think they closed at 5. The other is I think it's the Moorea Club.
That is, that's how you say it.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but that is an adult only. It is topless optional, which we've seen on cruise ships too. And unless you get a bunch of Europeans in there, it's not normally a thing, but it is an raised area, completely adult, but also not open until Thursday. Multiple pools here, but your main pools that you're going to be able to access every day, no adult versions, but really good for kids because a lot of variation with the wave pool, which I think is very unique to Vegas, and the lazy river, which there are very few of, and then just a full pool. Lots of opportunities there for kids to do. And we've seen a lot of kids here and a lot of traffic here because I said at the beginning that this is connected to a lot of sports areas. When the Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA team plays, there is a lot of foot traffic through the casino floor as they head to the stadium. Also, while we were here, they had a kids soccer tournament, training, whatever kind of event it was. Lots of kids dribbling soccer balls throughout the hotel. There's just a lot of kids. Now, you talked about connectivity. Before we get there, what would you rate the pool?
4, 3.5.
Yeah.
I don't like that they close at 5 o'clock. When it's over 100 degrees, I mean, I understand a lot of people leave, but a lot of people leave to go to dinner. Some people may want to take advantage of an emptier pool and go
after the sun goes down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, 5 o'clock, that's just.
Again, if you're coming with kids, you would probably rate it much higher. But for us and what we were looking for, 3.5. And I think it is a good pool system, but it's not necessarily something that we would enjoy over and over again.
Territory.
One of the things we love about the MGM system here in Vegas is how easy it is to get places. You could take a cab, you could take an Uber, but they also have multiple trams that access their hotels. From the MGM Grand, which has the Las Vegas tram system, which runs the entire strip, but that is you have to pay for that. Or you can come over and there's 2 free trams at 2 different sets of hotels. And here at the Mandalay Bay is the beginning of the free tram between here and Excalibur. You can get to those other hotels very easily, either by walking or by taking the tram. One's an express, one also stops at the Luxor. The one thing here is that this particular tram does not start until 10 a.m. It's really easy, and that's one of the things that I like about the MGM system is that while there are good restaurants here and at most of the hotels we've stayed at, if you want to go to a different hotel and eat there, it's an easy tram ride or walk. From here, you could actually get all the way to Bellagio for free. That would require you either taking the tram or walking very easily through Luxor and then up into Excalibur, where you would just use the pedestrian walk over to New York, and then you can get to the tram at Park, which then takes you all the way up to Bellagio. We went up to Venetian, then made our way back down to Harrah's in order to get on to the paid tram line. And we're able to come all the way down to MGM Grand and then simply go to the end of the building at MGM Grand, walk over the walkway to New York, and then hop back on the tram. It's not always the fastest. It sounds long, but it's really not as long as it sounds.
It sounds complicated, but it's really not.
It's not. There are a lot of options.
Yeah.
So for convenience of getting around to other hotels, I would give it a 5 because it's super easy to get around, even if you're just using the trams or just walking. Overall, as far as base camps, where we want to settle, where do you feel about Mandalay Bay?
It's not going to be at the top.
Yeah, I don't think it's it.
I mean, honestly, I'm leaning towards Grand.
Right now, MGM Grand sits atop. Right now, the Signature at MGM Grand sits atop as far as hotels are concerned.
Because you can get to both.
And it's much quieter over there, and it's not that big of a walk to go to the casino. Casino-wise, MGM Grand does get that. It is our leading candidate right now for our home base. We're going to try out more hotels. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to us, and we'll see what our next one is. Stay wonder-worthy.